What's going on? Hey, we're at October 8th. It is the 8th today. I thought it was the 7th. October 8th. It is 12:11. I don't look at Why don't I look at the date before I say it? Um, but I thought it was the 7th. I don't know why. Um, what's going on? I hope you guys are having a good day today. Whatever time you guys are watching this or whatever day you are watching this, I hope you're having a good day. I just want to come on here and basically get more thoughts out of my mind because I've just been pondering. And I've actually think I have come up with a podcast name. I think it's going to be called, I think it's going to be called, I'm going to call it the Pondering Thoughts Podcast. I feel like that has a good little ring to it, and I be pondering. So, and now it's my pondering thoughts in a podcast type shit. So, yeah, I hope you guys like the new name, and if you don't, I'm sorry. But now I gotta come like with a whole logo and stuff, and I actually met this guy at the store. I actually talked about him a few episodes ago, but I met him at a vape store, and he does like art, and like his art was on the walls in the vape store. I don't vape or anything, but I was in there because I knew people who worked there. But I was in there and his art was on the wall and he was talking about it. I was like, dang, dude. I asked him if he ever did like digital stuff. And then he said, yeah. And then I told him about the podcast idea. And then he said he would love to make a logo for me. So we're going to come up with, I'm going to go see him after this, actually. I got to go to the gym and then I'll go see him after. But I'm going to go see him. And then I have church later tonight too. I don't know what time it starts because my friend's the one who told me about it. So I already texted her, but you know how life be. But yeah, so I just want to come on here and talk about basically the energy of not chasing. Like I feel like a lot of things in the world that we want today, we want to like try and chase it and not be patient and let it come to us. And I just wanted to talk about the energy that comes with not chasing because it is woo, it's crazy when people around you and the situations that you want to get yourself in realize that you're not chasing it anymore and that you're becoming the being of what you want. So it's kind of it's a crazy thing and I can't wait to dive more into it. Um but I just want to talk about a little of my experience of basically just being myself and ooh, I think that's actually I put the wrong notes in there. Um, okay, but that kind of works within itself too because I put experiences with being myself and how it threw some people off, but attracted lifelong friends. That kind of does go with the situation because I know for me in my life, I've always been the type of person to like know what I want to do, but not know how to speak up about it. You know what I mean? And I've been getting a lot better at it, but definitely when I was younger, I kind of want to get out of this sunlight. Oh, I thought I had. All right, one second. Oh, this is more like it. Um, but yeah, so basically, like, I've always been the type of person that I know what I want, but I was too scared to talk, like to ask for it or to like want to go get it. And I've become so much better in it. And it's like such a different feeling because I feel like when I was chasing this life and these things that I wanted, I realized I didn't want it. Like I was chasing the society approval part of the things that I wanted. You know what I mean? Like the things that I wanted in my head weren't justified in society wasn't justified in society, and obviously you're judged when things you do aren't justified in society because perspective is reality in society. um but yeah, I realized that I was like getting myself into the wrong friend groups and chasing like meaningless things like I, this one's rough because I don't want it to come off the wrong way of, but it's It's really for me, like, realistically. But yeah, just basically, I most of the time I was chasing the wrong friendships and relationships. Like I was chasing the people who I thought I wanted to be in my life because they seemed societally approved, you know? And in reality, like that's not me. Like that's not me at all. And I realized that. And it took me so long to realize that though, because I was continuously doing it. But then I realized that the people I was like friends with, they were friends with me because I had something to offer back, you know? It kind of looks like I have no pants on. I don't want to look like that, bro. Okay, well just like but if I lay back here, I feel like I'm lazy. I don't like I just want free space though. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right, let's see. This is. I'm sorry, dude. I know y'all just want to like. I know y'all don't even care, really. Like, still, so whatever. But but yeah, like, I realized I was friends, and I was putting myself in situations that I was being used for what I could offer, and like getting. I know you're not supposed to do things to be returned, but I felt like I was doing things not in return, but knowing that I should be getting something in return. You know what I mean? Well, shouldn't be isn't the word, but maybe more like earned because I was doing so much and not getting anything in return that I was like, damn, like what's going on here? Because this I feel like that's not what friendships really are, and I realized like as a kid I was very closed off, but when I opened up to people, I was me. And that's when I realized like the people who I was opening up to and would accept me no matter like what I was going through, those were my real like lifelong friends, you know what I mean? Like because I noticed so many times where I would get into these like feelings that because when I was younger, it was so hard for me to be able to control that shit. But when I was getting into it, like I saw the way people changed around me after like a situation happened, and it blew my mind because I know I hold myself to such a high standard that because I feel like I know better now, but like when I didn't, and people would like change their perspective on me, it was like wow, like it really blew my mind because I know for me, when my friends fuck up, I'm trying to be there for them to help them understand, like point it out to them so that they can get better at it because I know that's what I want. But but I gotta know that not everyone wants that. You know what I mean? That's rough. I gotta know that. But it's I feel like that's what friendship is though. Like I feel like friendship is trying to be better and trying to see each other grow because I don't want to be stagnant. And I know that my friends don't want to be stagnant. So I feel like that's why I do hold them to a higher standard because I know that they know better too, you know? And I really am thankful for like lifelong friends I do have because oh my gosh, man. No matter like how much we don't see each other because we're so like in our own worlds, I know that our relationship will never be deterred because we know each other like seriously, you know what I mean? And it's so beautiful because but I wouldn't have been able to do that without realizing I couldn't chase because it was crazy the actual way me and my friends became friends. Okay, so I have a cousin. Damn, I forgot it was all I pushed back. I have a cousin, and me and him would always hang out when we were younger. And he was the one who like football player, all that, like going out and well, not much going out, but like just being himself. And he was able to attract people, but I wasn't able to do that when I was younger. And I realized like I was at these like hangouts and these parties that they were having, like birthday parties and like little get-togethers they were having, and I was just doing me. And because I was such a secluded kid, like I was in the area, but I was still by myself. You know what I mean? It was so weird. It was so weird. I was just like be on my phone, and it's like it was so weird. But. it like now that I'm talking about it out loud, it was so weird how we became friends because yeah, I was around with DJ and that's my cousin and his friend, and then we all us three became really close friends, but obviously them two were really close friends. Like us three became really good friends, so then I became myself around them three, but then they had a bigger friend group, so then I was around myself around them, which made me myself around the other people. And then it just like, it became a magnet of like, we all magnetized together. You know what I mean? And I love it because it's like now, now I have those friends for life, like seriously. And I wouldn't trade them for the world because it's not even they've been there for me when things got hard. It was more they were still accepting of me when I came back after things got hard. You know what I mean? And it was I'm so thankful for you guys. I love you guys. If anyone is watching, I love you guys, bro. Um, but yeah, and then another thing, letting things and people fall away naturally with while standing strong in who you are, because once again, the energy that you put into people, they can either take it or they could demolish it for you and leave without even taking it. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because people in my past experience, I have always told people that it hurts my like it hurts for people to leave. Does but it really doesn't because I've been so used to it. And I talked about it in my last podcast too, but I've been so used to it through life that I'm used to letting my energy stay within myself. But obviously, I'm trying to show it to other people, but it's staying within myself because I know that I can't let anyone interfere with that energy because I don't know what that person's going on. Like, I don't know what's going on in that person's life. So I can't let what's happening to them and their hurt me because hurt people do hurt people. That it makes, when I heard that for the first time, it made so much sense because you really have to think about what another person is going through for them to lie, for them to cheat, for them to hurt you, for them to maliciously go out of their way to hurt you or like or treat you in a way that they know they shouldn't treat you. Like it they have to be going through something. So hurt people do hurt people because they're hurting. So they want someone else to feel their hurt. You know what I mean? So that's why I added at the end, you have to be you have to be solid within strong within yourself and standing within yourself because we can't let anyone interfere with our energy because we don't know what's going on in anyone else's life. So when we have those moments of hurt and and pain, we have to be able to give that grace because grace is so hard to give, yes, but grace is one of the biggest things you can give because people need the grace. We have to remember that we are human and that we are going to fuck up. So when hurt people do hurt people, we have to remember that they're still hurt. It's not them just doing it for no reason. Sometimes it is. Sometimes those people, but those people should not be in your life, obviously. We need to be able to know the difference between the two. But those people who are hurt, because okay, I feel like you're able to tell when someone's hurt when you've seen them not hurting, you know? Like when you see them not hurting, you're ready to like you're ready. Like, wait, I just got a text and it threw me off. But when you see hurt people not hurt, you see like the real them and how they treat you, and you realize that they are like they're good people. But when hurt people are hurt, they're going to hurt others because it's just the way kind of life goes, you know what I mean? Like when you're feeling hurt, you're you're gonna want someone else to feel the hurt because if when I feel like for me at least when I feel hurt I feel like no one else understands it sometimes, and that's what makes me want other people to understand. And same thing with when I feel like good too or like just some type of topic, like I want someone to understand, but we can't make people understand when it's good or when it's bad sometimes, you know what I mean? So really just letting things and people be able to go, like even with my insurance job, like letting that go, it was easy to do, but I was so scared to do it at the same time. Like once. once I had like consistent days of like having this feeling like I was forcing it, that was when I was like, okay, I know it's done, but I knew I was good at it at the same time. So it was like it was such a hard thing to let go, but such an easy thing at the same time because once again, I'm used to letting things go. So it was so much easier for me to let that go because so much has left my life already that I'm used to coming back from it. You know what I mean? So just really like us being able to stay solid within ourselves while being able to let others and other things and people go because it's going to happen in our life. You got to think about everyone says life is short and everything, but you got to think about the average life of a man is what 67 years, 70 something years. So it's like that's a long ass time. Think of 12 months multiplied by 65 to 70. That's a long time. So these things and people are going to come in and out of our life. We have to remember that. I feel like a lot of the time, I forgot. My friend told me it was a thing of like making people seem higher than what they really are, but it is a real thing where you think that if you lose this person or you lose this thing, you can't get it back. But there's so many opportunities in this life that we have, and opportunities in careers, opportunities in hobbies, opportunities in friendships, opportunities in relationships. There's so much opportunity in the life that we have to remember. Yes, we are unique, but we're not unique enough for just one thing to fit us. We are Bruce Lee used to say, you have to be water. You have to be able to, like, because water fits into a cup, it fits into a bowl, it fits into whatever it's put into. We have to be able to be water and be able to adjust with the things that are happening because sometimes we're going to be those waves crashing against the wall. Sometimes we're going to be a current. Sometimes we're going to be a lake just waves in, waves in. Actually, I'm at Lake Erie right now. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I'm here and I was going to film like on the lake, but the air was just like the wind was just too like strong. I don't know if that was on my face this whole time, but yeah. And you don't chase what you know you deserved. The mindset shift from chasing to becoming. So I talked about this in another podcast too. I feel like I keep doing this a lot where I have like these topics that go into each other, which I don't know if is good or bad because I feel like I want to be able to get other shit out, but I want to dive into the shit that I am talking about at the same time too. You know what I mean? Um, but basically just once again, within, changing within will make our reality come around because we have to be able to become the person for the things to attract to us. Because if we're chasing, I feel like when we're chasing, we sometimes catch ourselves chasing the wrong things. So then now we just wasted all this time and we could have been putting that into something, we could have been putting that into ourselves and we could have figured out what we really wanted to chase, you know what I mean? So when we're able to okay, so chasing the only thing that I would ever really chase is chasing to become a better person because that chase is going to reflect in your reality. Like changing within and being able to really feel and understand what you want and what you want for your life. So then you become the person you want instead of chasing the person you want is like it's crazy. And there's a little bug just waving like it's like his body is just like a little centipede and it's just waving across my windshield right now. It looks freaky. But like being able to change within is going to be able to change the reality around you because once you get to the point of you know what you want and you're continuously in the like process, it's like I love the process now, really. I really do because it's showing my character more and more and more every day and showing the discipline that I have to become the person that I want to become, you know what I mean? And once you start becoming instead of chasing, things start chasing you because they want to be in your life. You know what I mean? No matter if it's friendship, relationship, career path, hobbies, it's going to come to you, but you have to be able to see the signs for it to come to you. You know what I mean? You have to be able to see it. The difference between okay, so this goes into each other again. Oh, actually, when you stop running after the things, you start meeting with what's aligned. And that kind of goes with the same thing at the bottom I have under this too, the difference between what you want and what you're meant to have or what you're meant for. Because I feel like we all do have a purpose. Like before we even start our life, our purpose is kind of already there. Well, not kind of, it is there. Um, and I really do believe in that because it's definitely a lifelong journey to get to the things that you want, and it's a journey that is worth it, really. But yeah, like when you stop running after things, you really don't know what is. The things start to come into your life, like I was just saying. It starts to come back in, and then you realize that it's been at your feet this whole time. Like it's been in the palm of your hands this whole time, but you were chasing these things that you thought were you, but it was really just your perspective on being able to it's hard because I feel like for me I was chasing these things that I thought I needed to do to get to what I wanted. Like I was chasing these I was like, okay, so I have to do this before I can do this. But in reality, if you know what you want, just go after it. You know what I mean? Like we don't you don't have to accomplish something first to accomplish what you want. Obviously, it's different if you want to go to school and become a therapist and all that. Yeah, you gotta chase those things for however long you need the degree. But if you're doing something with, if you're creating and you're wanting to be a creator more than a worker, because I feel like a lot of jobs that are in college, you are workers. But obviously, you can be passionate about the work that you are doing. But for me, I know I am a creator more than a worker. So I was like chasing these things that were forcing me to be someone who I wasn't. And I thought that I had to do that to get to what I wanted. But you really don't at all. You do not at all. You you can do it while you're still figuring everything out. Like I realized that you need to be able to live below your means while you're building the life that you want. Because when you're doing that, you're once again building discipline, you're building character. So then even if you do get to the end and you realize it's not really for you, you still gained all the abilities that came with going through the grind, like working through it, the discipline, the resilience, the passion you build, and then you figure out what you really want to do after that. And then if you don't want to do that, then you learn the experience and the abilities from that situation too. Then it just keeps going, and you really never lose unless you give up. Like yeah, you can give up on a situation that you're in, but that's not you giving up. That's just you realizing it's not for you. So then when you're able to build like the you never lose really if you continuously try, because people like people forget that that's really what it is. Like you failing at something, there's no failing. You're just going into something new with the experience that you gain from that experience. Like with the door-to-door sales that I have, I hope this air's not bad on the audio, but with the door-to-door sales I had, I thought that like me me quitting that, I thought was like fuck, like I'm proving everyone right. But I don't give a fuck about any of those guys because I know those guys. Like I know them. And I might not know their personal life, but I understand what type of people they are because they've shown their character when I did talk about leaving. Like once oh my gosh, dude. There's been so many like 30-plus-year-old men who have told me like I'm too lazy, or I'm never gonna succeed at anything because I'm too lazy. And it blows my mind because they think that since I wasn't producing, like when I was at my first insurance job, I wasn't producing enough, obviously, because it just wasn't my like it was a presentation. I'm not a presentation guy. Like I'm not gonna swipe through these slides and just like read off of words. Like I can speak for myself, you know? And that it just wasn't a system for me. So the dude think I thought I wasn't working, but I was working more days out of the week than he was. He would only work 4 days out of the week, but that's obviously because he was making enough money to do that. But I was working like 5 to 6 days out of the week. So it was like when they were telling me that I wasn't working, it just infuriated me because I knew I was. And then when uh I quit my insurance job that I had now, it's oh my gosh. And even when I didn't quit and I was still working and doing good, like I would not be talked to by anyone until I started to struggle. Until they started to see my numbers drop, then they would hit me up and be like, "Yo, what's going on, bro? Like how you feeling? How you feeling?" Like no one really cares, no one really cares. So then I can't care because they don't care unless it's benefiting them. And I know that, yeah, I can benefit off of their thoughts, but I'm still going to make the action of actually making it happen. You know what I mean? So it doesn't like, it really does not matter any perspective that you're in anyone else's eyes, unless they are someone who you think you can learn off of, obviously. And I feel like I feel bad for being in this light, but I kind of want to go on my passenger seat. I'm gonna just do that. All right, let's transfer real quick. Sorry. I feel like this is better. There, there we go. Like my phone. Yeah, like it really does not matter what perspective you are in anyone else's eyes because they got their own shit going on. You got your own shit going on. So it just kind of holds you back really if you continuously just try to look good in other people's eyes because you're trying to look good in other people's eyes is going to make you question what your judgment of yourself really is, you know? And we can't do that because we have to be able to be our biggest supporter. We cannot be a Debbie Downer on ourselves because the world is a Debbie Downer on us, bro. And please remember that. Please remember that. And then the difference between what you want versus what's meant for you. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna bring God into this because God is a big thing for me. I know that God will not give me anything that I cannot handle. So when I catch myself chasing these things, I realize that that's not meant for me. Like that's not what God has planned for me. But God has put this into my lap and has put this mind in my head that I understand now what is for me, you know? Like this is for me because I love getting my thoughts out. And I love being able to give someone a new perspective because I know so much of the time I don't think about all the perspectives, and no one really does. So when an outsider comes in and is able to give you a different light, it's like it's crazy because obviously sometimes it won't be good for you, but maybe it sparks another idea in your head, and then that idea sparks another one. So just being able to plant a seed into someone, but I can plant the seed into someone, but I can't make them water it. You know what I mean? Like I'll throw them the seed, and you tell me what you want to do with it because I want to see what you do with it because they could either plant the seed, water the seed, and make that seed flourish better than I could ever. Or they could see that seed and be like, oh, this is a cool seed, but this one's not for me. Throw it out and find like, oh, but I found this seed helped me find this one though. You know what I mean? So like being able to just be a different perspective for people is such a big thing for me because I know for me, when I talk to people about my situations and I realized that it's help. Like it really does help being able to hear someone else's thought process on something because oh my gosh, I know I get in my head so much and it's not good sometimes because once I get in my head, I start that's when the self-doubt starts. That's when the procrastination starts. That's when the excuses start. Like but once I get it out, I'm able to actually hear it from outside of my head then I'm able to answer my own questions sometimes. And it's like it's really something that does need to The law of detachment, letting go without giving up, how releasing control actually makes space for everything that's meant for you. So when you're able to detach and basically just become dumb and and so like what's the word? 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 I can't think of the word, but like so just stupid in your own thoughts and your own beliefs that it doesn't matter like what everyone is telling you, like, oh, it won't work out, it won't work out. It won't work out. Okay, we'll see if it does or not. I'm gonna just try. You know what I mean? So being able to let go, these people were understand. So being able to let go of the actual feeling of not knowing what's gonna happen, you know what I mean? Um and how releasing actually controls what's meant for you. So releasing the feeling of worry and excuses and procrastination and doubt, that just it gives you a power that like no one can take from you because you're so I gotta think of this word. Hold, let me think of 2 seconds. So disappointed in myself. I just could not think of the word delusional. But just being so delusional in your own beliefs and passion that like no one can deter you from that. And you can't even deter yourself because you just become this like this being that can't be stopped. Like because we got to remember, I talked about this in my last podcast. Our brains are literal civil wars of evil and good, literally. So those thoughts that are coming into our head of like doubt and excuses and procrastination and and believing that you can't is literally the evil side, but you have to be able to be within yourself enough to be able to understand that's the evil side talking. That's not your real thoughts because our thoughts don't know like they don't know when to give up, the good and evil ones. So we have to be able to be conscious enough to be able to understand that these evil thoughts aren't stopping and these good thoughts aren't stopping. So we have to be conscious enough to be able to understand which ones are which and to be able to feed the ones that we want to feed, which is obviously the good ones. I would really hope that you want to feed the good ones because, okay, okay. Um, and peace over pressure, the kind of relationship the new kind of relationship standard, choosing emotional safety instead of emotional chasing. So this goes more into like relationship wise, because I know for me, relationships are a big thing to me. Like I love to love people, you know what I mean? But I know I've realized that I'm going to be myself no matter what. I'm not gonna pressure myself to be this person or to chase this person or to try to be someone I'm not for someone I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the peace of being able to be you. And when, oh my gosh, it's like such a good feeling when I interact with someone new and they do see who I am because I know I understand that I'm not crazy. Like I'm crazy, but I understand that I'm not too crazy of like looking into the wrong delusion, It's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling because I do think a lot of the times, like obviously the evil side of my brain, I think a lot of the time, like, dude, you're a fucking idiot so much. But at the same time, I know I'm not, but those evil thoughts, they just don't stop. But interacting with a new person and being able for them to be able to see me is like it's such a good feeling, but I don't get it often because once again, we have to be okay with letting things and people fall away naturally because it's going to happen. It's going to happen, especially when you're being yourself. Like if you're not yourself, you're gonna keep the people around who aren't like who shouldn't be in your life. So so then that's going to make you question who you really are. But when you're yourself unconditionally and unapologetically, it's it's bound to happen where you're going to lose people who aren't meant to be in your life and you're going to attract the people who are meant to be in your life. You know what I mean? So really just like the making a new kind of relationship standard with yourself that goes for other people. Like I know for me, I'm continuously gonna be myself and gonna speak my opinion because I know that that's gonna either fray away from the people who I don't want in my life, or it's going to attract the people who I do. So just I've held myself to that now because I know that people are insecure within themselves that they can't take someone else's opinion. I don't want that person in my life because I know that they're gonna do that to me sooner or later where I tell them my opinion or something, or I tell them a plan that I want to do, and they're gonna tell me what they would do in my situation. And what they would do in my situation isn't what I want because they're gonna be like, oh no, that's too scary, that's too scary. Life is scary. We gotta take that chance and really just choosing your emotional safety instead of emotional chasing. Because, okay, so emotional safety for me is continuously being myself and not caring about what the others think about how I'm reacting to something. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm solid with myself, so I understand it. But your emotions aren't supposed to be meant to be, your emotions aren't meant to be understood by everyone because they're your emotions. They're not our emotions, they're your emotions. So obviously people aren't going to understand that. So you have to be solid within yourself to be able to understand that because it's so lonely, bro. When I tell you it is the most lonely thing of fucking being you and trying to better yourself because I've realized that other people do not understand because they are my emotions. They don't even understand their emotions, so how could they understand mine? So so now I've realized that I can't chase relationships and friendships and emotional connection because chasing is when you lead yourself into the wrong things, and it's terrible really because you put yourself in the situation without even knowing because you were just looking for the connection. Like I was just looking for a connection and that led me into now I'm doubting myself and now I'm doubting the things that I've believed my whole life. So it's like you can't. You really cannot. You cannot. And emotional chasing, I would say that's getting with people, either relationships, friendships, whatever it is, getting with people who you know you shouldn't be around, but they understand you enough to be able to feel seen and understood, you know? But then that leads you into also being with the wrong group of people because sometimes people who understand you aren't going to be on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be you guys are gonna be close, but it's always gonna be this like one's gonna be like somewhere. It's always gonna be like here or here or here or here or here. It's always gonna like, and I know I don't like saying like I'm better than anyone or anyone's better than me. Like I know no one's better than anyone, but it's really it's not a better thing. It's more of a like wavelength of where we are in our own brains. And I realized that I was trying to make connections and making this facade of people in my mind. And it's really like, you realize that people are fucked up. Like people are people, so people are going to fuck up. But you put this thought in, like you put this thought in your head of what people really are. And when they don't fulfill it, it's like, you disappoint yourself. And disappointing myself is like, it's the worst thing because I feel like I'm like, okay, yeah, this person's good, this person's good. And then they're not, and then I realize it, and then it's like, damn, dude, you're now I've got to question my judgment because I thought that you were this person that you really weren't. And yeah, you messed up, but you messed up in a way that was like was just crazy. Like it was just if I can't really get into it because I don't like gossiping about shit, but it I really hope I'm explaining that enough to like I was okay. I want to talk about just one situation, but I'm not going to talk about what the situation was, but I put myself in this situation of trying to make a connection with a person I knew that I couldn't because it was after the first hangout I knew that we weren't on like compatible. But but she saw me, you know? And but I and I continuously like she can get better, she can get better. We can fix it. Like, but I realized some people just don't want to be fixed. Like some people don't want the help. So then I was after the first hangout, I knew it wasn't anything, but I still continued it because I was seen. So then I was seen, but I was seen by the wrong person. And then then I was starting to do the wrong habits and get into the wrong habits that I knew I shouldn't get into. So then so then I would it was then it got to a point where we both hated each other, and I wish it never got to that point because I do really care for that person, and I do really wish the best, but I know that just we weren't compatible and we were both trying to force it because we both saw each other. And I realized that I have to set those boundaries and I have to have those standards for myself because yeah, I was seen and I saw the other person, but we still weren't compatible and and I realized that I will find a compatible person if I stop chasing wanting to be seen and wanting that validation. Like I have realized that and I know that it's gonna make change now. Like I know that I'm going to be able to see change within because and outside of myself because I already see change within and I'm so thankful for it. And people see it, strangers see it more than people I'm the closest with, and it's crazy. And it's like I am so blessed with this mindset and this mentality that God has given me because I know without it I would be lost in this real world things and I would be questioning myself and questioning my own character and it's thank you God. Thank you God. That's all I can say. Thank you God. And that's really all I got. I kind of dove into my next topic um but I'm very excited to talk about this one cuz this one today, yeah, I liked it, but I felt like I couldn't get a flow going. You know what I mean? But this next one, I really do think I'm gonna get a flow going. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your Wednesday, October 8th. It is now 12:48. Um, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it and are able to crush today or not even crush today, just have a really good day and be able to be there for ourselves because no one else is gonna be there. So yeah, I gotta go work out now, and I gotta go find out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. Uh, Cracker Barrel. Oh my gosh, I called them today about orientation and everything, and they said they wrote my name down with a time, but they didn't have a date or anything. So thankfully, I called them, and that was like first thing off the wake up too. I was thinking about that. So great thing I called them. Thank you God for giving me that idea to call them. But yeah, we're getting that started soon, and I can't wait to see that where that takes me because I know it's a meaningless job, but I know that it's going to teach me a lot at the same time because I'm gonna run into people that I usually don't run into. I'm gonna learn things and hear things and see things that I usually don't see and hear and experience. And I'm really excited for it. I really am. And yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Good things are coming. They're on our way. Let's get it.